One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming propriety. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He only had to execute the order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all the souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the soul. Or in other words, one who's fully Christian consciousness is called Adhyatma Chaitanya. Nirasha means that no one has to act on the order of the master. Nirasha means that one has to act on the order of the master, but should not expect immediate results. The cashier may have millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purpose of lying unto thee. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there's any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. And in this way,
next. नहीं भाग्य के हाथ में
first question is, what do you consider to be the most important point in that movement?
हाँ
How much for that? The big one.
which one Mataji ma'am?
Like the blue.
Yeah, you can pay around 4-5 euros whatever you can.
Oh.
You have card Mataji or phone?
No. I have a cash. Like I didn't know that how much it is.
Okay,
It's more
yeah.
than my
You took the book Mataji?
No, I came for volunteer work. Yes, so that's
Jai.
why I'm just little bit hurry, so I can go and.
Yeah, fine, no worries. Yes, Mataji. No worries, Mataji. Yes, Prabhu. Kitchen niche. आ रहे हैं probably. Yeah.
40 or something.
To it is here, Mataji, 4 euros. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. You need the book now, Mataji, or you take it?
No, I'll take it now because maybe if it is late, I'll go straight.
And the reason then it gives the reason is because the eternal constitutional position of the religion is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. And that's something that don't really like to hear about. Subordinate to the desires. Why do you think that? Is actually speaking to us, is feeling those desires to do these things, then the likelihood is that really we're just on the mental platform, the mind is dictating. So, yeah, there are good things to say. Is there anything else anyone wants to add?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, I need one help. Sir, if you know my phone is there for streaming, right? If any call comes, just reject it. Just in case, yeah.
Okay. Just go silent. Is it on silent?
It's not silent, it just vibrate. So that's why, yeah. It's recording, yeah. Yeah. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. सुगति नहीं अभी ले लूंगा मैं सुगति प्रभु नीचे है सर्विस बोल के ले लो हाँ सुगति प्रभु नीचे है क्या हाँ ठीक है
He will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. Okay. So, is there any comments so far on that first and fourth point? What do you think is the
so?
Yeah.
I mean, in a practical situations, it's really difficult to dealing oneself from the fruit of actions, right? We as a normal human beings. So, what's your advice to that? I mean, yeah, like the famous Karmanya Vadika Rasti.
Yeah, that's right. Just to perform your duty.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a human being, performing actions is our duty. Yeah. But somewhere at the back of my mind, even if we kind of, sacrifice the fruits of those actions to the Lord. So, but at the back of, because it's not possible to control the mind. Mind always keeps moving. So, I mean, what is the practical way to really at least delink and not to basically, or to keep yourself unmoved from the fruits of those actions?
Yeah, that's really the essence of what the whole third chapter is speaking about.
I'm sorry if I'm speaking a little ahead of chapter 3.
No, this is very good. Very good. And it's, I suppose, the sadhana bhakti is very important. To chant very strongly in the morning time, that's very important. I do mention that a lot. And because what you're saying there ultimately is that, Krishna, I cannot control this mind, but, I am chanting this your names because I know you're there in your holy name, and you've incarnated in this Kali Yuga just for people like me who are in that situation, and please, please take over. But that's kind of easier said than done. But it's a prayer. But it's basically just to relish that mentality of how Krishna has manifested here to help us at this time, and then later on it's going to say that it's good to do activities that are according to your nature. That's going to happen here later on. So therefore, we become more easily able to perform those duties that is according to our nature. So that's a big help, because then we're not going to do things which we kind of always have to second think or second guess ourselves. But then once we're in that category there, we have to develop that transcendental mentality that we're doing it for as an offering to Krishna, and therefore we have to detach ourselves from the results. I heard one person saying that one way that you can definitely detach yourself from results is that if you try to do something 99 time out of 100, it's not going to you're not going to get the result that you want anyway. My experience in desiring things, I want this, that, I want it. Generally, it doesn't happen. So that means that I'm not really in control anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So somehow or other to see that Krishna is controlling everything. I mean, then the philosophy also comes back in again. We can see that the modes of material nature are acting. It's only the modes that are acting, and that again shows how little we're in control. Like the idea is, this divine energy of mine is very difficult to control. The one who is surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So it's a stage, because most of us are working. We're working in the world. I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago. We have to do activities which are not necessarily very, natural activities. There's so much caught up in this acquisitive, material, selfish, capitalistic, or communistic, whatever society, and all the activities are somehow or other tainted by that. No matter whatever we do. Somebody is a teacher, but he's a doctor, and he wants to have money. You become so involved, and you're trying to help people. Then you get involved in the chemical industry, and you're trying to help people. But then you see there's more profit if you sell this medicine rather than that medicine. It becomes all contaminated a lot of the time, a lot of the occupations. Even in IT, I think that this, what are you doing? You're kind of trying to increase the flow of energy to some particular product, which may not be very beneficial.
That's true.
And so we're a lot of us immersed in things like that. So it is a kind of, it's almost like a dichotomy. But the point is that the more that we hear about Krishna and Krishna's pastimes, the more that our vibration will be on that level. And even when we're doing these things, we may do, as Krishna says, we have to do them to the best of our ability, and that we will somehow be aloof from them as well. There's something which happens just by those two activities of hearing and chanting and associating with devotees, that we become somewhat aloof from those activities, so that even while we're performing those activities, we're seeing that as our devotion to Krishna, our service to Krishna. And the more that it's linked, the better. You could also, the obvious one is to give the fruits of our activities to Krishna as well. It might not be directly linked to devotion service, but if we give the fruit of it, then the activity also becomes purified. There some answers, but I know you've obviously understand that.
Yeah, that's true. And the fact is that and this is the moment of truth for most of us, that the actions are only controlled by us. All we can control are the actions, no matter whether those actions are performed in our social fabric or in our professional work, but you don't control the outcome of those actions.
Yeah.
So that's the fact. So I think more about repeating this truth to ourselves.
The constant repetition is the mother of learning. Yeah. No, it's quite interesting because that's why we chant all the time in the morning. We keep on holding in the mantra all the time, hearing about Krishna as well all the time. It definitely helps. It definitely gives us that conviction. So when we're acting, we will act in conviction that it is service to Krishna. Anything else? Okay, good. Sorry, there was just one other thing. Because it's without envy becoming free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Because most actions are fruitive, as you're mentioning. You want something from them, we're acting. So, and what does that mean? It means we're going to come back into repetition of birth and death and birth and death, so we're just creating a future karma. So this is like the big prize that we get by performing devotional service and bhakti yoga, is that our activities, that's one of the big prizes, that our activities don't create future karma.
So it's maybe like, if I understood a little bit of it, that we should have like full faith in Krishna, and we should be like free from like, if we get something, we should not be like kind of overjoyed and like so happy like I got this, and if we lost something, we should not be like sad as well. So we should be have kind of like neutral and have full faith in Krishna and surrender everything towards the Krishna.
Because everything in the material world that we're experiencing and we're doing is based on karma as well. It's based on the modes of nature. So there's the modes of nature acting there. There's karma acting. Time is acting. All of these things are going on, and we're ultimately a spirit soul. We're aloof from all of that, but because we're heavily identifying with the body, with the mind, we're thinking that we're affecting it, and then also it's like a machine. Once we identify with it, it's going to spin out the result, the karmic result. So we're trying to not get ourselves into that machine and try to remain aloof. So Krishna's giving us all that advice to stay happiness and distress, fame or anything, honor or dishonor, all of those things. And that's always being tested in the material world. Where we are, what we're doing. There's always a test coming because we're in the stage of learning. We're making advancements. The more we're not affected by those things, is a sign that we're actually making advancement and becoming detached. And then there's a famous phrase at the very end where Prabhupada talks about it. And I think this is one that we should take with us always. Because sometimes we get discouraged in devotional service or we feel it's hopeless. But Prabhupada says that one who is not resentful of the principle. So in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord. But because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. So it's a kind of a nice kind of encouragement from Prabhupada. And that often is the case, that we're down to our, the very bottom of our determination. You may feel, I just can't do this. But we just hang on in there, and keep going. We think everything will change again, and then we will get the strength back again. Because Krishna wants to see that's the test that we're getting, so that we can go through those, and as difficult as it might seem or whatever, but just keep on dealing with it, and then automatically then Krishna will come back and give us that energy. So then the next Prabhupada says, or Krishna says, Prabhupada
I won't read the Sanskrit of that one, I'm not too familiar with it. But those who out of envy, this is 332, disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Purport. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated herein. As there is punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, so there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A disobedient person, however great he may be, is ignorant of his own self and of the Supreme Brahman, Paramatma, and Personality of Godhead, due to a vacant heart. Therefore, there is no hope of perfection of life for him. So, anyway, that's a nice, tough love from Krishna. So the next verse. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? So just stop on that one. That's that point. We've all got certain karma from previous lifetimes. So we don't have to fight with that too much. In other words, we may want something which is not maybe our nature, which may be beyond us. And we can try, and we may get little glimpses of it or somewhat. But if we can accept the nature that we're in, and then use that in Krishna's service, that's highly intelligent. And again, it's even more difficult in this particular scenario because there's no clear definition of what nature we're in. And there's other phrases, Kala, Shudra, Sambhavam. In Kali Yuga, everyone was born in the Shudra mentality. So, and everyone has a little bit of this. They may be a little bit more Brahminical, they may have a little bit more ruling tendency. Some may be a better business person, and somebody may be a better worker. But we may have all mixtures of all of that in us, So that makes it that little bit more difficult again. But still, there's generally a predominating nature, and if you can use that in the service of Krishna, that's what you want. Just to try to do that. Personally, I find that it's difficult to try to absolutely work out your nature, but you can get a hint from some people, and then there's also you can get advice from the spiritual guides, which is very important, which can be very important as well. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next part there, which is the purport. Unless one is situated on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness, he cannot get free from the influence of the motive nature, as it is confirmed by the Lord in the 7th chapter, 7:14. So that's a big statement in itself. If one is free, if one is transcendental to the platform of Krishna consciousness, on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness, in other words, one is above the modes are not affecting them. If you're on that platform, no problem. But then Prabhupada says, unless he cannot get free from the influence of the modes of material nature. So in general, most of us are affected by the modes of material nature. Some morning it's good, some morning it's not good. The modes are continually changing, and time is putting them in this way, that way, and almost unknowns to us, things can change, and we might think, what did I do wrong with? But it's actually the modes are acting. So it's a lot of the time it's like that too. Hare Krishna. Thank you. We're just having a class, but come up, see the teachers. Therefore, and here's a very important point as well. This is very interesting. Therefore, even the most highly educated person on the mundane plane, it is impossible to get out of the entanglement of Maya simply by theoretical knowledge or by separating the soul from the body. There are many so-called spiritualists who outwardly pose as advanced in the science, but inwardly or privately are completely under particular modes of nature which they are unable to surpass. I mean, if you don't want it, psychological, assessment of the nature of the living entity in the world, that's it. We can so often present that we're very, you know, very educated, very knowledgeable, that's so-called. But the point is that more than likely we're under the control of the modes, you know, and that's a part of the process of Krishna consciousness called anartha nivritti. That means getting beyond the pulling of the internal, you know, desires. Those desires have got us here from millions of lifetimes. You know, they brought us back all the time, and we can kind of go on and act as though they're not there. And most of the time, luckily enough, we can, because if we were constantly meditating, we'd be very depressed or something. But we have to know that they're there, and the Krishna conscious person, by performing sadhana bhakti, and by eventually coming on to the next stage, which is Raganuga bhakti, which is spontaneous devotional service, and one can then act as a proper servant of Krishna, and one is not affected by those things, which is held us back. So that's the real prize, you know, and the real way to get that is through love of God, the love of Krishna. And that's why we try to listen as much as possible to narrations about Krishna and by Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, because they will actually get us outside that platform. And what's spoken about here is on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness. Anyway, okay, that's just stop there to show that we're heavily affected by those internal desires, even though we may pose, you know, as being very learned. And this is what I was trying to say. Academically, one may be very learned, but because, and listen to this, of his long association with material nature, he is in bondage. You know, there's always a tendency, and this can be very, very, you know, this whole Mayavad philosophy is like that. They're I wrote, oh, I can't remember the verse, but Krishna, Tatam. Oh, and I'm not good at remembering verses, but basically one is in imagined liberation. One imagines oneself to be not affected by the modes, but actually one is heavily held in by the modes. So one is in bondage. So Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of the material entanglement, even though one may be engaged in prescribed duties in terms of material existence. There's another powerful, and it's like your question that you asked a few weeks ago about, you know, about, are you making the point, I think, about karma yoga? You know, it's you're doing yoga according to your tendency. So, and that is beneficial. That's what Krishna is saying here. We should be doing things according to our tendency. But if we know the philosophy, then Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of the material entanglement, even though one may be engaged in his prescribed duties in terms of material existence. So it's almost like, I don't want to use the word schizophrenic, but it's almost like it's simultaneous oneness and difference. We're acting according to our nature in the world, but we're actually being spiritual at the same time when that's happening. So that's what Krishna consciousness brings. If we had that knowledge, we can do many, many things.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So like there are three modes, right?
Yes.
Ignorance, passion, and goodness.
Yeah.
So tamas, rajas, and sattva.
Yeah.
Now they are saying here that we have to go beyond the three modes.
Yes.
So even beyond the sattva.
Yes.
So what are the symptoms of, let's say, a devotee or a pure devotee who has gone through these three?
Yeah.
Like how would you distinguish somebody who is in a sattva or who is even beyond the sattva?
Yeah. In sattva guna, we can be attached to being in the sattva guna. Like karma kanda activities means that you pray that in your next life you will take birth in the heavenly planet because you have much longer lifetime. You're still attached to being in the world. There's still, because there's a certain sense of, you know, I've got potency now because I'm in the mode of goodness. I can control my senses. I can live very nicely. I can eat proper food stuff. I'm very learned. I can understand the scriptures.
So as long as you're attached with the body and the mind, even in the sattva, you haven't really gone beyond that, right? So when you are truly in Krishna consciousness, let's say,
Yes.
totally detached from the body and the false ego, then you are the, because it's, you know, it's easy to read, but to practically it's like, is it achievable? Like
And
for us to even reach to Satulgur is tough because
yeah, by the help of some of people who are not on that platform, yes. That's by the association of people who are not on that platform. That's how we do that. And that, and by us, you know, by hearing, strongly hearing, we by the mantra meditation, by hearing the scripture, by worshiping the deity, by the association of devotees, all of these things are all there. But we have to understand that our idea of time is quite relative. We think that it's a long time, it's 20, 30, 40 years even. But it's in comparison to the amount of time that we've been hanging on to the material world, it's not. But it is possible. I heard a lecture recently that yes, is it possible to do it? He says yes, but you know. So there's but is the important part there. It is possible, and I heard another one of my spiritual guides is my Shesha, and he says a long time ago. It's and he's talking in terms of decades, you know, but that's not to say that you cannot feel or you cannot experience symptoms of the very highest stages at the beginning. Because Krishna is in the heart and he can, and he does do that to encourage us. Like with Dhruva Maharaj, he told Dhruva Maharaj, you will not see me again during this lifetime. But he just appeared to him once. But just that once was enough for Dhruva Maharaj to want to keep on going. Because spiritual life is actually it's timeless. And then when we can build on that, then we won't mind about the time. You know, that means that lifetime after lifetime we want to perform service. We just become absorbed in devotional service because devotional service is so powerful. And love of Godhead. Because that's actually the way, you know, by actually loving Krishna and by devotional service. I was last Sunday, I was in front of Radha Kulananda in London, and I met one of my devotee mentors. He's no longer with us since over 20 years now. But I actually met him at that point in the temple, and every time I go there, it's like a pilgrimage place because it's the time when I met this person, and he used to always highlight it. He was very dear to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada used to be very affectionate towards him. A lot of his godbrothers would say this affection. And he even fell away from Krishna consciousness for a little while, but then he came back probably twice as strong, you know. So, but he would always talk about to become enamored in devotional service and performing activities for Krishna. And that the main aspect of devotional service is helping other people, telling other people about Krishna. Because it's kind of like a very quick way in which, because we're talking about it one time, but it's a very quick way to get recognized by Krishna. And then Krishna will then completely, he will break all the things that are said there and help us. So and that's why we have these temples. We have the temples because we're trying to help as many people as possible to take to Krishna consciousness, you know? And to perform the deity worship. I'm not as strong in the deity worship. I have some understanding of it, but the more that the deity worship is there, a lot of very senior people, they worship the deities very strongly because it's the way in which, that gentleman was saying, and you're meditating on Krishna very, very profoundly. It's a very intimate relationship with you and your deity, and that is your Krishna. So it's a very powerful way, to make advancements in spiritual life as well. I was just thinking about that strongly, the power of devotional service. by telling other people about Krishna. Because that's why Srila Prabhupada, when he's in his late, and tomorrow we have the we're celebrating his life tomorrow because Sugati Guru showed me a picture of him a couple of weeks before he left, and he was doing this arti to his new temple that he's opening, and another new temple that he was opening, which took 10 years to open. And you could see when he's doing the arti, he's actually in pain. He's in physical pain. You know, you can see it that he's struggling. But that never. He would just keep on doing this because he was so powered up. He used every last inch, every last ounce of his strength to perform devotional service. And I was talking to very briefly talking to another one of my spiritual guides, Shiv Ramaraj, and he's also, starting to hit late 70s, and you can see that he can't do the same amount of seva that he would do normally. Like he could only do a certain amount, but he's powerfully writing books about Krishna all the time, non-stop. So these devotees are our example. We have to rev up. So that's how you get beyond the mode of goodness in that sense. Really strongly performing devotional service. Academically, one may be very learned, but because of his long association with material nature, he is in bondage. Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of the material entanglement, even though one may be engaged in his prescribed duties in terms of material existence. Therefore, without being fully in Krishna consciousness, one should not give up his occupational duties. No one should suddenly give up his prescribed duties and become a so-called yogi or transcendentalist artificially. It is better to be situated in one's own position and to try to attain Krishna consciousness under superior training. Thus, one may be free from the clutches of Krishna's Maya. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion. This is text to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. So listen very carefully on this one, because it gives us just an insight. I won't comment on this much. Those who are in Krishna consciousness are naturally reluctant to engage in material sense gratification. But those who are not in such consciousness should follow the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures. I know I am going to comment on it, because it's really commentable. So there's a difference there. If you're naturally Krishna conscious, then that's cool. You're reluctant to engage in sense gratification. It's natural. You don't feel like you want to do it. It's just natural. But if you're not, and your senses want to engage in Krishna consciousness, which is most of us, then we should practice rules and regulations. So the next thing is unrestricted. Yeah, and the reason is because unrestricted sense enjoyment is the cause of material engagement. But one who follows the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures does not become entangled in the sense object. So we do it in regulation. And here comes the big one. For example, sex enjoyment is a necessity for the conditioned soul. Conditioned soul has to have that. And sex enjoyment is allowed under the license of marriage ties. According to scriptural injunctions, one is forbidden to engage in sex relationship with any woman other than one's wife. All other women are considered as one's mother. But in spite of such injunctions, a man is still inclined to have sex relationships with other women. These propensities are to be curbed, otherwise they will be stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. As long as the material body is there, the necessities of the material body are allowed, but under rules and regulations. And yet, we should not rely upon such control of such allowances. One has to follow these rules and regulations unattached to them, because practice of sense gratification under regulations may also lead one to go astray, as much as there is a chance of an accident even on the royal roads. So sometimes we chant the Saragada Vijayam, and the words of that, the meaning of that is this material body is a lump of ignorance. and the senses are a network of paths leading to death. You know, it's a very heavy statement. But before prasadam, the boys go, I can't wait to eat this prasadam. But they're actually saying something. So even prasadam, you're supposed to have that mentality of worship, and you know, we're serving prasadam. But you know, in that way, there's a regulation. We're trying to do it in a regulation way, but we can. Saliva starts to come down when it sees the cheese subdue or whatever. So we have to be careful. In other words, we have to do it in a proper way. That's what Prabhupada was saying. The sense, and he's making this point again. Although they may be very carefully maintained, no one can guarantee that there will be no danger, even on the safest road. And here he says it again. The sense enjoyment spirit has been current for a very long time. Pizza problems. A very long time, you know. Owing to material association. Therefore, in spite of regulated sense enjoyment, there's every chance of falling down. And therefore, any attachment for regulated sense enjoyment must also be avoided by all means. But attachment to Krishna consciousness, or acting always in the loving service of Krishna, detaches one from all kinds of sensory activities. Therefore, no one should try to be detached from Krishna consciousness at any stage of life. The whole purpose of detachment from all kinds of sense enjoyment attachment is ultimately to become situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness. So that is getting near to the time. And is there any comments? Anyone wants to ask anything? Mention anything?
I think it's difficult to apply this to our lives because I want to speak just for the consult myself, but sometimes I'm arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think, oh, I know all stuff.
Yeah.
But no, still a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to my job, I'm learning every day, even by my students. I mean, they teach me things. So I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to be more helpful.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem. We are arrogant. We like to play God now, all of stuff.
Yeah.
Humble.
Yeah. That's very good advice. I mean, it really is, because pride is always the thing which gets us. And it's said that every pauper is proud of his penny, even a person that's only a penny. You know? So it affects everybody like that. And the only thing to do is, as you're mentioning, is to always be vigilant. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. That's also a symptom. You're saying a symptom of a person. Is a person is always humble. I remember those two devotees that were doing the Kirtan who came recently, and I personally noticed that they're very advanced Kirtaneers. I very clearly noticed how humble they were and how they were dependent. So that's a very good example of people to associate with, you know, because they can give you that humility and give you that detachment, as they say, you know, from the material enjoyment. And so that is some, and then if we develop that, we can also give it to others. So it's a very valuable thing to do. Association of devotees is really good, and discussing the philosophy is super good. All the years that I've been around, they're the times that I've had the most enjoyment. You know, when there's been constant discussion on like what you just said, you know, what you just asked. You know, these are the things which are kind of golden nuggets. They're like very valuable for us to hear, because generally we're speaking as very honestly here. You know, we're not trying to present more of a great devotee. You know, just trying to speak our own struggles, and when there's an atmosphere from that, then people feel free to do that, and that freedom is where the growing can happen. You know, the heart becomes purified, and then becomes detached from all the other things which are there, which you've been attached to for a very long time, as Bhagavad says. So Krishna consciousness is the best advertisement for Krishna consciousness. Being Krishna conscious, in other words, when we're happy, when we're happily performing devotional service, we feel very encouraged. And you know, humility, there's tremendous happiness in humility as well. Whereas when we're not humble in pride, we're constantly harassed to try to keep an image, because there's no reason to be proud, because we are tiny. We're tiny souls. So there's no reason to be proud. But in order to keep up the image of who we are, we're putting in so much energy to try to do that. And therefore all our energy is spent on that. Whereas he who's happy within, who's finding the peace within, that is the true love in that sense. So the more time that we spend in that kind of area, that's the real level of growth in Krishna consciousness. I didn't get to 36. We didn't get to 35 and 36, so I'll just read the English of those and take them. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties even though faultily than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. And then Arjuna said, O descendant of Rishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? That's the big question. So we'll leave it on that cliffhanger for next week. By what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Is anybody able to set up the amplification? Does anyone know how to do it? Anyone else have people try? It just helps if you're singing. So that's an application. Just need a microphone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thanks. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Sandhivadika Satana. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, One time together, put your arms in the air. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare last time, all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare more time, everyone together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. One more time together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. One more time, everyone together. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Shri Panchatarva ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Maharani ki Jai. Guru Shiva Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to the Supreme Hari. Namaste Narsimhaya. Namaste
Anybody would like to come to Harinam tomorrow at 3 o'clock?
Yes. Yes.
3 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and we're going to give out plenty of books. Srila Prabhupada's books tomorrow, special day. Every day is a special day.
Tomorrow special.
Especially all day tomorrow. I